Hello, good morning students. Welcome back to the YouTube channel of Venus Public School. Today we are going to start the revision of the chapters which we have already completed. As you know, we have already completed 3 chapters from science, and today we are going to start the revision with the first chapter, and the first chapter was nutrition in plants. Okay, so let us begin. So in previous class you might have observed, you might have learned. So first of all we have discussed what are nutritions. Clear? So nutrition is basically the energy which we are getting from the different resources, from the different food resources. Okay, in previous classes, in 5th class, in 4th class, in 6th class, we have discussed different kind of food resources. Clear? And all these food resources used to provide us food for the energy requirement, for the fulfillment of energy requirements. And why we need energy all the time? Even if we are sleeping, our internal organs are continuously functioning. Clear? Heart is beating, blood is circulating throughout the body. So basically the cells are growing every time. Not growing, basically they are multiplying every time. They are increasing in numbers, the cells of our body. Okay, so basically for all these activities, all the living organisms need food. Okay, or we can say nutritions. Clear? So nutritions are most essential part of a living organism's life. Okay, and to get nutrition, we need to understand what are the different modes through which we can get food. And we have already discussed in previous classes that what are the different kind of food resources. There are some people are vegetarians, some people are non-vegetarians. Clear? So few of us depend upon the plants only for our food or energy requirement. Some of us are depending upon the plants as well as other plant eating animals for our food requirements. Clear? So first of all we need to understand what are nutrition. So nutrition is the process of taking food by an organism and use it by its body is called nutrition. Clear? What is nutrition? The process of taking food by an organism and use its body and used it for its body. Clear? For the development of its body is called a nutrition. Clear? Now, as we know, most of the time we directly or indirectly we depends upon plants for our requirement, for our energy requirements. As I just gave you an example that sometimes few people used to directly depend upon the plants because they are vegetarians. Okay, or you can say herbivores, but few depends upon carnivores. Carnivores means few are carnivores. Carnivores, they used to eat the plant eating animals. Clear? And sometimes few are like omnivores. Omnivores means they used to eat both, directly plants sometimes and directly the carnivores. Clear? So omnivores. Clear? So all these directly or indirectly they basically depends upon the plants for their food requirements. Clear? Nutrition requirements. Clear? While I have in the first lecture video, I have taken an example of a food chain, kind of food chain I have shown you as an example, where ultimately each and every stage depends upon the first stage, that is plants. Clear? So till now each and every living organisms depends upon the plant directly or indirectly. Now how plant used to form their food? Okay, how they depends upon, as plants are also living organisms, their cells also grow, multiplies, they also grows, they also perform different activities throughout their lifespan. So basically they also needs nutrition. So what are the nutritions in plants? What are the modes of nutrition in plant? In this chapter we are going to discuss what are the different modes of nutrition in plants. So basically there are two type of nutritions. Okay, autotrophic nutrition and heterotropic nutrition. Autotrophic means, auto means self, they make their own food. Okay, some plants make their own food. Basically most of the plants make their own food. That's why they are called autotrophs, and they does not depend upon any other. So they cannot further depend upon others. Most of the living organisms depends upon plants, but plants themselves would not depend upon anyone else, because most of the variety of plants are autotrophs, and the mode of nutrition which they used to get is autotrophic nutrition. Clear? Whereas some of the plants are heterotrophs. That means they depend upon the others for their nutrition requirements. And the kind of nutrition they get is heterotrophic nutrition. Clear? Heterotrophic nutrition. So these are the two things or two categories in which plants are divided. The nutrition in plants are divided: autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. First of all, we will discuss autotrophic nutrition. Clear? So as we have already discussed, autotrophic nutrition are the mode of nutrition in which plants used to form their own food by themselves. Clear? And how they do it? They do it with the help of photosynthesis. Okay, what is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis, we are going to discuss what is photosynthesis in very detail. But when this term came into existence? Okay, so there were scientists whose name is Charles Reid Berners. In 1883, he gave the name photosynthesis, the term photosynthesis. And photosynthesis comes, there are two different words in it. Number one is photo and number two synthesis. The meaning of photosynthesis is, the photo is light, the meaning of photo is light, and the meaning of synthesis is to combine. So basically, what plants used to do during the process of photosynthesis, they used to combine certain available resources and in the presence of light with the use of light, and thus they produce food. Okay, that means nutrition. So basically the term itself tells everything about the process, that is photosynthesis. So basically some available natural resources are combined with the help of light, in the presence of light, and this process is called photosynthesis. Okay, so let us see what are the things. Number one, chloroplast. Basically how it is done, chloroplasts are present under the lower section of the leaves, and the green leaves and the green stems, young stems. Basically wherever there is green color, you will, in plants, you have to understand that this part of the plant is helping the plant to form food for it with the help of photosynthesis process. So green color is the indicator of photosynthesis process, or presence of chloroplast in it. Okay, so basically what is chloroplast? Green structure these are green structures. So basically as they are green, so whenever we see a plant or any part of the plant which is green, is representing the presence of chloroplast in it, and is representing the process, this part is able to perform photosynthesis. Clear? So and these green, why these are green? Now there is a question arises, why these structures, why only green color? Because green color is due to the presence of chlorophyll in it. Chlorophyll, what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a green pigment, or we can say a chemical, a green pigmented chemical, that is chlorophyll, which is present in the chloroplast. And this chloroplast, what this green pigment used to do? This helps to trap the carbon dioxide from the nature in it, into the parts of the leaves. Clear? It helps the carbon dioxide to store in it, to trap in it. Clear? Trap in this chemical. Clear? Like carbon dioxide is a gas which is having the capability of trapping heat in it. Clear? Once it come into contact with the heat, the carbon dioxide particles, the molecules of the carbon dioxide gas used to trap heat, store heat in it. Okay, for longer durations. Clear? So similarly, chlorophyll is a chemical which has the capability to trap carbon dioxide gas in it. Clear? Okay, from the nature it can trap it inside it. Okay, how it is happening? In the leaves there is a structure called stomata. Clear? So singular form is stoma, but in plural forms, in all together, it will be called as stomata. Clear? So the leaves take the carbon dioxide from the air through the tiny pores. Okay, these are tiny pores. Stomatas are basically tiny pores. Stomata are tiny pores through which the leaves used to inhale or let in carbon dioxide and exhales O2 after the process, after the entire photosynthesis process. So basically the first part is inhaling the carbon dioxide from the nature is done by stomata, which are tiny pores. Okay, and stomata are having guard cell over them. These are the openings, as this is the opening, so these are the guard cells. Clear? These are the guard cells. This is stomata. Stomata is a plural form. So this is the stomata through which CO2 gets in and oxygen comes out, and these are controlled. These openings are controlled with the help of guard cells. So these guard cells used to they used to open or close. They used to open or close. How it is happening? How this opening is controlled? With the help of how this opening is controlled. This opening is controlled with the help of guard cell. Clear? So I'm sorry, I think I forgot to keep that page in front of the camera, so I'm just repeating. We have discussed nutritions. You just rewind the video and just you can check whatever we have discussed is written over here. Okay, so we have discussed chloroplast, why it is green structure, how we can identify whether chloroplast is there or not. Chloroplast is having green structure, and why it is green? Because of the presence of a green pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, and stomata are present in the chloroplast with the chloroplast at the lower sections of the leaves and the green stems. And the stomata is a tiny pore in which CO2, and this is the opening from where CO2 is moved inside and oxygen evolved out, and this is controlled by these two guard cells. These two guard cells used to control the opening. As you can see, this is the opening and this is controlled by these two guard cells. Clear? So this is how it is happening, and so this is how it got CO2 from the nature. Chlorophyll traps the CO2 and sunlight also it traps sunlight. Okay, it traps sunlight which is falling on the leaves. Okay, and guard cell helps to provide CO2 from the nature. And xylem vessel are basically tubes which are connected from each and every part of the plant to the roots. Clear? So xylem are the vessels, xylem are the pipes. Basically these are the pipelines which is like spreaded all over the tree and which started from the roots. Okay, roots of the tree. Okay, so from root to each and every tip of the plant, xylem vessels are there, and the function of xylem vessels is to provide the required water and mineral from soil. They absorb they suck the water and minerals which are present in the soil and then send it to each and every part of the plant. Okay, and as these water and mineral, so we have got three things: sunlight from chloroplast, stomata is providing CO2, sunlight, CO2, and last water and minerals, required minerals. Okay, when all these things combines, they used to produce food or energy. Clear? Basically glucose. They used to produce glucose. Okay, so let us understand the equation. Like carbon dioxide and water, when they get mixed in the presence of sunlight, okay, and chlorophyll used to do it. So when these two things combines together or get reacted with each other, they used to produce glucose and oxygen along with it. Glucose is stored inside the plant in the form of starch. So glucose is stored in the plant in the form of starch, and plant used to use this starch for their own development and food requirements, growth requirement, development requirements, daily routine function requirements, and the extra glucose or the leftover glucose is stored in the form of seeds or fruits or leaves sometimes. Clear? And these fruits, leaves, stems, roots, etc. Different living organisms used to consume for their requirements. Thus they are autotrophs and they are helping others for their survival. Okay, and again, so two things the photosynthesis of the plant used to do, two most important thing on earth. Clear? What are these two things? Number one, they used to provide food, okay, for themselves as well as for others. And number two, by the evolution of oxygen, they used to maintain the CO2 and O2 balance, the carbon dioxide and oxygen balance in the nature. Okay, in the atmosphere, plants used to maintain the carbon dioxide and oxygen nature, because for all the living organisms or for different organic processes, clear, organic processes, oxygen is required, clear, for all the living organisms to survive on planet Earth, and all living organic processes to occur, oxygen is required, and carbon dioxide is also required to maintain the temperature on Earth. Okay, also for the food requirement of plants, which, so basically it is kind of a cycle, it's kind of a cycle. CO2 is required for O2 for the production of O2, and O2 is required for the survival of human beings, and human beings they used to produce CO2, and the produced CO2 must be maintained, must be its level must be maintained on the earth. Thus these two, so the plants used to maintain the balance between the production of, or maintain the balance between the release and absorption of CO2 and O2, clear. So these are the two most important parts which autotrophic plants used to perform, clear. And after that we will discuss heterotrophic nutritions in the tomorrow's lecture.